Okay, so I'm going to open up Codio. I'm going to make a new folder. I'm going to call it Performance. Oh, I want that in my second period. Okay. And then I'm going to make 3 files, just like we always do. Index.html. New file, I'll call it performance.css. And new file, performance.js. And I'm actually going to close my CSS and JavaScript page because we're not going to touch that today. We're just going to do HTML. I just created my my template by typing !tab, and I want to link it right away before I do anything else. Now, starting tomorrow when I'm streaming rather than recording, if I go too fast, you'll pause my stream. You won't have to say, wait, or can you show me this? You'll be able to fast forward and rewind. Some of you remember me doing this last year probably, but I'm going to do it a little, well, you'll see. I don't want you to have to watch it later and watch a lot of dead space. So I'm going to be very actively pausing and playing as needed for this. So to link the HTML and CSS, I can never remember how to do that. So I'm just going to open up another index page, and I'm going to copy my link into my head. This was from the Fibonacci stuff that we did, and my source to the bottom of right after the body. Now I can close that Fibonacci thing because I don't need that anymore. Now it's not called Fibonacci.css. I named it performance and performance.js. And now I can preview this, and I'm not going to have anything there. Great, but I can leave that preview up. So I created a new page. I created the CSS. I created the JavaScript. And I made the outline of the HTML. We're going to be filling the HTML in momentarily. I'm just closing some tabs because I don't need all those tabs at the top. Okay, so now what I want to do is this written response thing here, I'm going to make this a web page rather than College Board's PDF. And when I do this and I'm not allowed to get help from anyone, I'm going to use this web page that we're doing right now so I can feel like it's so easy that I'm cheating on this written response, which is where you get your grade from. Now, understand 30% of your grade. If you do 30% of your grade, if you get a perfect score here, and then you guess, you don't even read any of the multiple choice questions, you just guess straight up, and you get 25% of those right, you're sitting on a high 2 or a low 3. You can't fail if you do this really well. That's awesome. Now, we want higher than that. We want 4s and 5s if possible. This gets you, you can answer 50% of the multiple choice correct and get a 4 or a 5 if you do this perfect. That's how big this is. So I want to make this a web page. So I'm going to grab this text here. Now there's some input boxes here. Actually, no, first I'm going to grab is just this stuff. Just this part first. So I'm copying this from the web or from the PDF. I linked it again so you can copy it. Oh, that's not what I want. I want here, and I'm just pasting it in here. Now I want to separate this stuff up because I am going to format it later. I'm going to put everything in div tags. I like div tags. So we're going to say written response can be its own div tag because that's going to be like a big title. Another div tag will be that. Another div tag might be the 3A thing, and then another div tag is describe the overall purpose. And then because I was sloppy as I did that, I'm going to say Tools, Beautify. Okay, so then it makes sure that everything's indented correctly. So what I did is I just grabbed all of this highlighted stuff, pasted it into my HTML, and surrounded the things with div tags. There's even some hyperlink stuff on here. We'll link it later. We're not going to link it right this minute. When I refresh my page, I've got this here. Just yay. The next thing I want, and I am going to go a little fast for you to keep up with. So if you fall behind, I'm going to be doing the same thing over and over again. So don't be too, like, you do want to try to keep up to the best that you can. But if you fall behind a little, it's not the end of the world. But I don't remember how to make it. I want to make a big box to enter text. So I'm going to Google HTML text input box. And W3 Schools, which is basically our textbook, I'm going to grab that right there. That looks like, it's called a text area. And we could even try it ourselves. And yeah, that's exactly what I want right there. So I'm going to grab this text area thing, and I'm going to paste this here. Now, are you allowed to do this when you are writing your thing for College Board? Yes. Do you have to cite this as a source? In this case, no. Because we're going to modify this so greatly. I'm going to say, I'm just going to call this default text. And I don't want this to be W3 review. This text area, this text area is for question 3A1. So I'm going to name the text area 3AI. 3AI. And I'm going to give a name of 3AI as well. It's going to start with 4 rows and 5 columns. Now, 5 columns means that's how many characters across you can do. I'm going to make it 8 rows, not 4. I want it a little bigger to start. Doesn't really matter. And then when I come back here and hit refresh, I got a text box. Yes. And you can even resize it. HTML handles all that. You can put your own text in there. It doesn't matter. It's all good. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing for part 2 and part 3. So I'm going to jump through a lot of stuff right now because I'm just going to do this for all of the questions. So part 2. Part 3. Those both also have text area boxes. So I'm going to grab these text area boxes and put it underneath that div tag and that div tag. And then I'm going to rename it. The second one is 3AII. This should be 3AI. II. And then the third one's 3AIII for the Roman numerals 1, 2, and 3. And then when I hit refresh, my entire first question is done. Yay, it looks beautiful. It's awesome. I'm going to come back here. I'm going to beautify it. When I'm done with that, I'm going to do the same thing for questions 2, 3, and 4. There are 4 questions on your written response. We're going to do this for all of them. We have 13 minutes left in class. That's what I'm going to do for the last 13 minutes of class. You can stay with me and keep doing it. You can do it on your own. That's up to you. But we are getting this done. Tomorrow when you come in, there's going to be, I already told you, you're going to be doing a poll on, do you want Friday to be your own time or a Kahoot? And when we're on our own, and then tomorrow I'm going to say, do you need more time for HTML, or can we please do some CSS stuff? Because I'd really like to make the page look pretty tomorrow. There will be no coding today or tomorrow with JavaScript. It's all about content and prettiness. So at this point, I'm just going to go back and forth. And I'm going to copy all of this text right now. And there are also these things that say that they explain what a list is, what a collection type is. We're going to put those on our webpage as well, because We want our webpage. We're going to go to our webpage and we'll be like, wow, this feels so easy. I feel dishonest. It's so easy. Because everything I need to do is right here. The only thing that should be difficult for you will be writing the program. And hopefully that won't even be that bad. So boom, I just pasted all this stuff in. Now I just have to surround it with div tags. I don't care how sloppy I'm being because I'll beautify it at the end. So it's more about just getting the information. Beautify it. I don't need that gap there. I don't need that gap there. And now I have to put the input boxes in. Or, sorry, the text areas in. Now this one is going to be 3BI and BI. So 3 is because part 1 of your task for your performance task is your code. Part 2 is your video. Part 3 is the written response. So that's what the 3 comes from. B is this is the second question. So 3B, and then I is the first part of the first question. I is the second part of the question. I is the third part of the question. Oh, and I missed one here because this is I. And I missed, there's a part 4 here that I didn't get in a div tag. So IV is 4 in Roman numerals. I don't know if they still teach that anymore. Do they teach Roman numerals when you're little? Did any of you learn Roman numerals? No? Not really? Yes. For some reason it was important when I was growing up. It never was important. Like, Roman numerals died with... The only thing it was important for is if you read one of those clocks that had Roman numerals on it. Or I guess if you're teaching computer science with Roman numerals 30 years later. I'm going to beautify this. Hit refresh. So now I have questions 3A done, 3B done, and I'm going to do 3C and 3D as well. When you come in tomorrow, if you say, Weissman, do not start without giving us time to finish our HTML, I will honor that. Although, if you let me start, we can make the page look pretty faster. So I want to copy all of this junk. Copy. Okay, and I see a mistake that I made. Body should be at the bottom. Okay. Div. And if this is tedious for you, do realize I will have no sympathy for you. I have to do it 3 times today. So it's 3 times more tedious for me. Actually, I could have some sympathy. It is my lesson. I had say in it. You guys had less say in this. Although you're going to appreciate it at the end. This is going to be such a beautiful little program. This one's going to end up on my webpage as well. If you don't end up getting it done well, you'll be able to use mine. You just won't get a grade for doing it yourself. which you're going to want the grade. And it's also kind of nice to have your own piece done. So this is 3C, CI, CI. Later today, I will have the YouTube video up for this, and then tomorrow it'll just stream. Back here, hit refresh. That looks good. And now one more to do. And then I'm going to take a nap. Like 30-second nap. Boom. So I just finished my text. Now I've got to finish those input boxes. Tomorrow's probably going to be a slightly lighter day because we're not explaining the entire performance task. We're just doing coding. Today was a long day because there were two major accomplishments, hopefully, that you found today. One, you learned a little bit about this performance task. So this is 3DI first. And we got the code started. Nassim. 3DI second. So when they get to D, they have something beyond the I's. They have first answer of a question and second answer. Or first call and second. DI. The name probably doesn't matter too much. The ID will matter a ton when we get to our JavaScript. Oh, almost done. I am not expecting that many of you will finish this right now. But if you do... Actually, I remember there are some students that are really fast at copying stuff like this. I guess you guys are more used to making like cheat sheets just before a test.
Screenshot it.
Oh no, but we have to make it into HTML, so screenshotting isn't in it.
Well, that's why you green.
Oh, I was just having fun with colors. I was purple last class. So I've got all my stuff in. I'm going to stop the recording.